YouTube. Do subscribe. I forgot I was going to see. Darn it! I'm literally just realizing this right now because I was like, what am I gonna do today? I'm gonna do a random ranking, but as saying that, as thinking that, it just occurred to me as I was doing this, I wanted to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes tonight, and it just like totally left my mind. I was planning on seeing it, and I didn't. I just completely forgot. Darn it. Blast. I guess tomorrow, maybe? Ah, man. Darn it. Okay. Anyway, what are we here for? We're here to do a random ranking. That's what. We're going to go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, here in the video, here in the video. If you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. Let's get to picking some movies. Is there anybody out there that maybe has seen enough of these that can recite that by heart? I'm curious. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. I always say that at the end of my videos. All right, here we go. 3 movies. Let's do this middle one here. I'm feeling a slipcover. Maybe an upper one. Upper one here. Wow, whoa, let's hope that wasn't. Let's just use it. Let's use it. Where'd it go? Let's hope, though. Well, it isn't. I can feel it. You know, the ones I'm always scared about dropping are the steel books. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. I feel like we pull this one all the time. That's Dan in real life. I probably reviewed this one more than any. So let's do this instead. This one right here. Dan in real life was the one in that slipcover. Hey, this is good. I like this one. Yeah, okay, because I have like a refreshed vision of it. But first off, let's start with Get Shorty. So Get Shorty, and then there was that follow-up. What was the follow-up called? The follow-up had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. Be Cool. Did anybody see Be Cool? Anyway, Get Shorty. This one was kind of like I think it was like John Travolta riding his own wave after Pulp Fiction, because you know he was out of Hollywood for a long time. You know, he had his moment with Saturday Night Fever in Greece, and obviously was on Welcome Back, Kotter TV, and then he, you know, I think even before that he was on the Boy in the Bubble, which I got somewhere in here, Boy in the Plastic Bubble, and I remember watching that as a kid. I watched that as a kid, and it terrified me. It made me so. That was probably one of the scariest movies I'd seen as a child. But anyway, then he sort of like rode this wave, you know, with like Phenomenon and you know, maybe Michael and but yeah, this one here, because this one kind of had like a Pulp Fiction-ness to it in a way. Like you could tell it was not only riding the John Travolta wave, but it was also riding the Pulp Fiction wave. And you know, the way he's acting, the way he is like trying to be cool and all of that. Chili Palmer. Yeah, I really like this movie. You know, the gangsterness of it, the Hollywoodness of it, the meta-ness of it all, a movie being about movie making and all of that. It's really fun. Yeah, like read this. Drug smuggling, racketeering, loan sharking, welcome to Hollywood. Like, that's a great thing there. John Travolta leads an all-star cast of the hysterical comedy that insists it doesn't take much to make it in the movies. Just the background with the mob. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. I like this movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, though. I want to get back to it because, yeah, I enjoy it. Who is this? Oh, look, and it got 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert. When did this come out, though? So Pulp Fiction was 94, 95. See? This was like directly off Pulp Fiction. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I wanted to see who was directing it. I couldn't, because I knew Danny DeVito's in it, but I know Danny DeVito like directs and does stuff like that, you know. Actually, I don't know how much he directs. Produces, that's what I should have said. But yeah, Danny DeVito is a producer. I thought I was remembering that. Anyway, good movie. Doesn't get talked about much. Maybe it's not as good anymore. I don't know. Like, you know, some movies are great at the time, and then when you watch them now, it's like, you know, it was good for its time, but it didn't, like, stand the test of time. Maybe it's one of those. I don't know. Or maybe people just aren't talking about it much. But next we have Ghost. This is great. This is where Whoopi Goldberg won her Oscar. I love her Oscar speech. It's one of my favorite Oscar speeches of all time. I feel like if I were to ever win an Oscar, my speech would be similar to hers. I love how she addressed the room as a fan of all of the people that were there. Like, I think she like says, I used to watch you guys. Like, 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 like she was a kid watching all of these people in movies, on television, in movies, and now here she is on the stage collecting one of their highest honors, the highest honor in film, an Oscar. And I just love that she brought her early days as a fan into her speech. I thought that was great. Yeah, she's one of my favorite speeches, and I mean, I probably have a lot of them, but Russell Crowe gave a great one. His is one of my favorites. His kind of makes me tear up, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Good. Anyway, Ghost is a great movie. You Endanger Girl. You know, it has the whole, you know, scene that's been parodied, you know, to death with the clay and the ceramics and all of that. Demi Moore's great. Man, I don't know. This is just a good movie. Oh, a good movie, good movie. Man, rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. Can you believe he's gone? He's been gone for a while now. He's great though. He like straddled that line of like tough guy. Like when I think of him, I don't fully place him in, but maybe I think I did more when I was a kid. But to me, he was like sort of a, you know, you had your Arnold, your Sly, and your Willis, and I kind of wanted to put Swayze in there too. You know, your Van Damme. Van Damme seems a little bit different because martial artist, but you know, I kind of wanted to put in Swayze. There was just something about him that he had that sort of vibe to him, or at least that's how I saw him when I was a kid anyway. But then obviously he had like the softer heartthrob, you know, your girlfriend wants to go to his movies and you're like okay with it because it's Patrick Swayze and you like him too, sort of thing. Does that make sense? Like, you know, maybe an Arnold movie or a Sly movie, you're like you're taking your girlfriend, she doesn't want to see it, and then I'm just talking stereotypes here, right? But with Patrick Swayze, it was like everybody wanted to go. Both of you wanted to go, right? Does any of that make sense? Do you feel like he kind of like somehow he straddled that line? He was able to be like a romance person and an action guy, you know, Roadhouse and such. I don't know. Does any of that compute to anybody else? Did anybody else kind of put Patrick Swayze with those guys? Maybe it was just me, and I don't know. All right, next we have Joyride. So this movie, for years, Pantsgate. Okay, so, what was it? Hashtag Pantsgate? Holland, am I getting that right? Anyway, and anytime I ever talked about this movie, I would always talk about Paul Walker's high waters in it, because his pants like were a little tall, a little high. They weren't dragging, and at the time this movie came out, my pants were always dragging behind me and getting frayed, and his weren't. And I always, in my mind, saw them as high waters. But upon a rewatch that I had, maybe it was just last October or 2 Octobers ago, I think it was the most recent October, and I'm watching it, and it was like, those are not even close to being high waters. They're just like this far off the ground, but they weren't dragging behind him like mine were at the time this came out. But anyway, upon rewatch though, I was like, gosh, this movie like rules. It is so good. It has that like little big extra action sequence that happens sort of like in the middle that's just amazing. Like it's so good. Okay, anyway, here we go. How are we gonna rank them? I think I'm gonna go like this, actually. I think I'm gonna go Ghost #1. It's just such a classic. Whoopi Goldberg is wonderful in it. She should have been nominated for her role in the Sister Act. I believe. And also, there should have been a third Sister Act movie made soon after the second one, because I'm sure they're going to make a third Sister Act movie, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good because too many years have passed. But when all the original cast was still around and, in their prime and all of that, a third one should have come out, and it should have been a Christmas film, a Christmas pageant. It would have done wonderfully. And it's too late now. You can't do that. But that would have been great. And I mean, maybe they should still try it. Whoopi, come on. There needs to be a Christmas Sister Act where you put on a Christmas pageant and sing all of these great Christmas songs, both secular and Christian. I think that'd be wonderful. Okay, anyway, Ghost, and then Joyride, and then Get Shorty. Get Shorty I need to rewatch. Maybe it would bump up. I don't really know, though, because, I don't know. Even if I did rewatch it and really loved it, I know this one will always be number one. And then Joyride, I just had such a great time in my most recent rewatch of it that I'm not sure if it could be passed. So, I don't know. I should rewatch Get Shorty soon, though. But anyway, this is my ranking right here. I'm going to go Ghost, Joyride, and then Get Shorty. But my question to you is, have you seen these films? And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.